Donald Trump seal the deal and get the country back on track. Joining us now for the full hour, the 45th President of the United States, Davenport. Welcome, former President Donald Trump.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hello, my Sean. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Okay,
Have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Before we get into issues, and we have a lot to get into, let's talk about these polls. Oh, somebody.
I love you too.
By the way, I've lost all control of this debate as well. Here we go. Let me ask you, when you look at this, you look at the polls, you see the enthusiasm, you've done rallies and crowds.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the race?
I feel great. I feel it's, it has to be. If it's not, we're going to be in big trouble. We're not going to have a country anymore. We have no choice. And we have had enthusiasm. Look, we did phenomenally in 2016. We did much better in 2020. And I will tell you, the enthusiasm, some bad things happened, but the enthusiasm that they have now is bigger than either of those two races. And, we're actually less than a year out, but close to a year. I've never seen anything like it. We have crowds that are incredible. In Iowa, we were here last week. We had overflow crowds. And other candidates have like 7 people standing in a farm, and they're talking, and it's a very nice thing to watch, especially for me. I enjoy watching that. But we have tremendous enthusiasm because they want to see, I see Biden talking about, oh, MAGA, MAGA. MAGA means make America great again. That's what it means. And that's what people want. They want, see that gentleman? They want to see our country be great again. Right now, we're not a great country. We're a country in decline. We are a declining country. We're laughed at all over the world. People that respected us 3 years ago, and they respected us. You wouldn't have Ukraine and Russia. You wouldn't have had the attack on Israel. You wouldn't have had that withdrawal. You would have withdrawn, but we would have withdrawn from Afghanistan with tremendous strength and power. And that's the way I had it set up. In Afghanistan, we didn't lose a soldier. Many soldiers were being killed by snipers and others during the Obama administration. And Biden was there. I guess he wasn't doing so much other than collecting some cash, probably. But many soldiers were killed. And I spoke to the head of the Taliban. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. For 18 months, we didn't lose one soldier in Afghanistan. Nobody knows that. Until that fateful day where they killed our soldiers. They killed our, think of it, they killed our soldiers. They left Americans behind, and you covered better than anybody. And they also left $85 billion of the best military equipment, because I rebuilt the military. They left $85 billion, not million, $1 billion worth of military equipment behind in the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And the people of this country just don't want to take this anymore. So we gave them $85 billion. They killed our people, and they have people there. They have Americans there that we didn't even get out. It was like a surrender. And after that, Russia said, well, these people are incompetent. They're overrated, and they went in, they attacked Ukraine. That would have never happened. A million years. I used to speak to Putin about it. It was the apple of his eye, Ukraine, the apple of his eye. And I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I won't tell you exactly, but it was tough. In fact, he said, you wouldn't do that. I said, yes, I will. No, you won't. You won't do it. And, he didn't believe me, but he believed me 10%. That's all he had to believe me. And he never did anything. I mean, he never did anything. And, and by the way, President Xi with Taiwan, I had the same conversation, different cities and different countries. I had the same exact conversation. And he would have absolutely, he's looking at Taiwan very strongly. It would have never happened. And again, for 4 years, it didn't happen. And it was never going to happen. And now it's very possibly going to happen, which would be a shame. So So it's one of those things. Thank you. I'd like to be back. Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Earlier today, Joe Biden, I'm sure he mumbled the words as usual. He said this: if Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running, he said at a campaign event today. How do you react to that?
Well, I think somebody gave him a talking point. They thought that would sound good. You know, I just found out that Democrats are funding Nikki Haley's campaign. I hear that Democrats are contributing to Ron DeSantis's, or Ron DeSanctimonious, to Ron DeSantis's campaign. And then you hear the talking points. That's the only thing they're good at, cheating on elections and great talking points. They say, we want to run against Trump. They want to run. Well, we did really well in 2016, and we did so much better in 2020. The person they don't want to run against is us. It's us. It's not me. It's us. Because it's a movement, the likes of which this country, Sean, has never seen before.
At the beginning,
We have never seen the likes of what we've all done together. This is me, not me. It's everybody here and millions and millions. I think it's not 75 million people. I think it's 150 million people. It might be more than that. I mean, who doesn't want to see strong borders and a strong military and low taxes and low interest rates and go out and buy a house?
I played on purpose because I see what the media is doing now. I put a montage together. They want to call you a dictator. You use the words, I am your retribution. And now, before that, you said if you've been wronged, and you used other words as well. But I want to be very, very clear on this. To be clear, do you in any way have any plans whatsoever, if re-elected president, to abuse power, to break the law, to use the government to go after people?
You mean like they're using right now? So, in the history of our country, what's happened to us, again, has never happened before. Over nonsense, over nothing, made up charges. I often say Al Capone, he was one of the greatest of all time, if you like criminals. He was a mob boss, the likes of which, Scarface, they call him. And he got indicted once. I got indicted 4 times. I wonder what my father and mother would say looking down.
We had a lot of private conversations in the lead up to your announcement and the day that you came down that escalator. And in that lead up, I mean, we had some passionate discussions back and forth. You were telling me that